Hi guys, it's Iris. Today I do not have a haul for you. I do not have a tutorial for you. Instead I have a vlog. It's really kind of my first vlog. I've done some before, but this is like my first real vlog. There's been some really interesting, maybe exciting depending on your perspective, things happening in my life recently, and I wanted to share them with you. Because I've been a really bad YouTuber lately and I haven't been filming videos the way I'm supposed to. I was thinking about it earlier today, and I've done so many, well, I've thought about it quite a few times in the past month. I've done so many declutters lately and I have not filmed a single one of them. I have filmed one declutter video for you guys, and since then I have decluttered my pantry, I have decluttered under my kitchen sink, I have decluttered my closet, which actually needs to be done again, so maybe I'll be able to film one of those for you. I've done so many things that I should have filmed, and I totally spaced and just didn't do them because I am the type of person that I am in the moment, like all the time. That's why I don't take pictures when I go on vacation. I don't think about, ooh, let me grab my camera. I am in that moment. I don't think about capturing it. I'm in it. I don't need to capture it. I have it in my mind. So I'm that way with the videos that I had intended on filming. It's in my head, hey, I need to clean out my my pantry, so I'm just gonna do it, and I don't even think about filming it. So that's why I haven't filmed those for you guys. I'm supposed to do a Dollar Tree haul for you guys pretty soon. But we'll discuss that in this video, whether or not that will be happening. So let me just go ahead and dive into what this is about. And I'm just gonna, let's just have story time. So about 2 weeks ago, I was out running some errands with a little one. And we had left the house before my husband woke up because he works swing shift. So he comes home at like 2:30 in the morning and doesn't really get to sleep until 3. So usually on his days off, I let him sleep in. So we had left before he had even woken up. We had gone and run our errands. We were at our last stop. We went to Walmart to get a little bit of groceries. And right after I parked, my husband called me. And I thought he was just checking on me to see where I was since we left before he woke up. And he did. He was checking to see where I was. But the next thing he says to me was, hey, so I have a question for you. I said, what's that? He says, so if I took a second job, you want to quit your job and stay home? No lie, that was my exact reaction. I was silent for about 30 seconds because I had no idea how to react to that question. I had no idea how to respond to it because on one hand, absolutely, I would love to stay home. On the other hand, money? So yeah, so I told him, let's discuss this when I get home. We'll talk about it later. And I mean, he has it in my mind, and I'm somewhat of an anxious person. I've gotten so much better in the past 5 years. I don't really struggle with depression anymore. And that might be a vlog that I can film for you guys about depression and how real it actually is. Because my husband is one of those people that does not believe that depression is real. It totally is. But anyway, I don't really struggle with depression anymore. I don't really struggle with anxiety anymore. I have gotten, this is a very recent thing. I have gotten kind of panicky in crowds lately. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, going off on another path there that we're not on right now. I don't really struggle with any of that anymore, but that one question sent me into, I am not kidding you, 2 full weeks worth of anxiety attacks and panic attacks and freakouts and whatever you want to call them. I kind of lost myself for a little bit there. But anyway, we go into Walmart and he's, you know, I've got that in my head. And let me give you a little bit of backstory about why it freaked me out so much, because it totally freaked me out. I went into Walmart, and I'm not kidding you, I counted them. I had 6 anxiety attacks before I got home. I had about 5 in the store. I had another one when I got back in the car, and that one lasted until I got home. So let me tell you why I was so freaked out. I am 34 years old, 34 and a half. My birthday is February the 4th. So I am 34 and a half years old. I have been working and making my own money since I was 14. If you want to get real technical, I've been doing it since I was 12. As soon as my mom could put me behind the counter at the gym, she put me behind it and she put me to work. So I have been working basically my entire life and making my own money, and not really and truly having to rely on anybody. I mean, when I was younger, absolutely, I lived at home with my parents, and all of my basic necessities they took care of for me, but anything extra, I was always able to take care of that. If I wanted to go, to the movies on the weekend, I could pay for it myself. Every single car I have ever had, I paid for myself. The title might have been in my parents' name, but I paid those notes. I put myself through college. I worked full-time and went to school full-time to put myself through college. Yes, I took out a bunch of student loans, and I have a shit ton, excuse me. I don't usually cuss on my channel, but I'm probably going to do it tonight. A shit ton of student loan debt as a result of that, but I worked my way through, and I made my own way. I paid my own rent. I paid my own car note. I paid my my insurance. I paid my cell phone bill. I have always paid, since I have been of age to pay for my own things, I have paid for my own things. So I freaked out when he said, hey, do you want to quit your job and stay home? I would love to stay home with my son. I would love nothing more if we are financially stable enough to do so. I had no information at that moment, so I had no idea what we had available, what we were going to have available. So, and I apologize, y'all, it is like really, really hot in my house right now. Whew, like, I'm like sticky and nasty feeling, and I hate feeling like that. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know, I didn't have any information at that moment about, exactly what job is he talking about taking, what type of pay is it going to be, what type of hours is it going to be. I had none of that information, so I was freaking out. I get home, we talk about it, he got me calmed down. I told him, look, you've got me freaking out. I've had like all of these anxiety attacks just like in the past hour. I need information, let's talk this out and figure it out. So he told me he was looking at taking a job that was going to give him $15 an hour. This is going to be a second job because he still has his main job. Yeah. So he was thinking about taking the second job because his best friend had asked him to put his application for it. So he, what he was told was that it would pay about $15 an hour. They assumed he would take part-time, but he told them, hey, if you can get me out of there by 4 o'clock so I can get to my other job, I'll do full-time. So we added everything up. Okay, well, if you only do 30 hours a week, it's X amount of money coming in, so we'd be okay. If you worked 40 hours, it would be even better, but we can survive with you just doing X amount of hours, the minimum amount. We figured that out, and we'd be okay. We would be okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I said, okay. We crunched the numbers. I saw it in front of me. I was okay. I'm good now. And I start now thinking, okay, fantastic. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom if he gets this job. This is going to be awesome. I start planning out what my days are going to be like. I'm going to potty train the kid. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to cook every day. I'm going to take care of my home the way that I'm supposed to and take care of my family the way that I'm supposed to, the way I have not been able to up to this point because I'm a lazy person, and when I get home from work at the end of the day, I'm freaking tired and I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered with it. I just don't. I'll just admit to it. So yes, so he had gotten me okay with it, and right before he leaves to go to work, he said, you really wouldn't have to quit your job. We could figure something out, between my parents and your parents. We could get somebody to watch him. So, you could keep your job, and then we'd have even more money coming in, and we'd get even further ahead. And what I hear was, what I hear in my head when he says that is, yeah, I don't think you quitting your job is going to be a good idea. I think you should keep your job. That's what I hear. It's not what he said, but that's what I hear. And I said, but you just got me used to this idea. Like, you just got me calmed down, and now you're throwing something else in my head. So anyway, so that happens, and I continue to have panic attack after panic attack after panic attack, thinking about this situation. And I had finally just made my decision. I told him, if you get this job, I am quitting mine. End of story. We're done with it. We're not done with it, because that wasn't a good response for him. He then decided, no, I don't want you to quit your job. We're going to figure out between our two parents, get them to watch him. You're going to keep your job, because I don't think that they're going to give me as many hours as I thought they were. So it turns out that his mother is not going to have very much free time to take care of Axel while we are both working. My parents can't do it because they both work full time. So that one's out. So freaking out about that now. He wants me to keep my job. He's going to take 2 jobs. We have nobody to take care of our kid while we're at work. What are we going to do? I'm freaking out about that. Somebody had mentioned daycare, and my response was, but it's so freaking expensive. Have you priced daycares? They're really not that, they're not that cheap. Well, I've never actually priced them. I'm basing that off of hearsay from what other people have told me. So I finally came to grips with that. You know, you've never actually priced them yourself. Maybe you should call some. So I had gone over to my mom's house, and we had talked it out, because she had called me one day during all of this, and I told her, you know, I'm just pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed because of the way this is happening. Every time I make a decision, I feel like I'm being told that it's the wrong one, and he's the one who put me in this position in the first place. This is his doing. This is not something that we're deciding together. He has decided he wanted this, and I have to figure out how we're going to do it. So I was pissed. I was really, really pissed. I lost sight of the fact that at the heart of it, he really was doing this for our family. He really is. He doesn't do good staying home with Axel all day. I mean, Axel doesn't throw fits when he's with my husband, but he's really not getting the type of attention that he needs either. He pretty much gets sat in front of a television and watches movies all day, and my husband sits in front of the Xbox, and that's where he is all day. And occasionally he changes a diaper and throws a Pop-Tart at him, and that's about it. And he will freely admit to it. I am not bashing him. These are the things that he told me he does. Plain and simple. He freely admits to not being a bad father, but, you know, just being a typical dad. He doesn't do the nurturing thing. That's not him. So at the heart of it, he really is thinking about taking this position for the better of our family. If I stay home with our son, I am going to do the nurturing. I am going to potty train him and, you know, teach him his numbers and his letters and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I decided, well, I'm gonna call some of these daycares and figure it out. So, because my mother-in-law had said the night before, you know, if you want to do daycare, I will help you out with paying for daycare. So I decided I was going to look at that. Pardon me. You know, when I get long-winded, I get dry in the throat. So yeah, my mother-in-law had told me if we wanted to do daycare, she would help me out with it. Well, I started looking at daycares, and I'm calling them, and I'm pricing them, and they're really not that bad. I told my mom what the prices were, and she said that really hasn't gone up that much from when you were a kid. So I said, okay, well, maybe it's not that bad. So yeah, most of them are like $120 a week. Very few of them, actually, I only found one that does part-time care, which is what my husband had decided he would rather do. I thought it would be better to have him in full-time care, because that way he would get his learning curriculum and they would teach him the things he needed to know. The one that me and my mom went and looked at, they were going to potty train him for me, like We were golden. Basically, somebody else was going to be raising my kid for me, and that's not really what I want. But in the situation, you have to work with what you have. So I had found these places. I called my husband. I said, okay, look, I've been calling these daycares. This is what I found out. This is how much it is. Find out how much your mom is willing to give us to help out with it. My parents have said they're going to give us X amount. So it ended up that, you know, basically the majority of the daycare bill every month was going to be paid for already. So we were good on that. Well, then I don't even know how many days had gone on. I think it was one. It was one day, because this all happened on the 5th of July that I went and looked at the daycares. The next day, the 6th of July, I'm at work. We have made our decision. We're going to send the kid to daycare. We're both going to keep, I'm going to keep my job and he's going to have 2 jobs. Okay. So 6th of July, I am at work. I'm getting on the elevator to go to lunch, and my husband steps out of the elevator. And I said, what are you doing here? And he said, oh, just coming to say hi. And he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to lunch. I said, okay, well, I'll walk with you. We get in the elevator doors close, and he says, go ahead and quit your job. I said, you want to get slapped, don't you? He said, what are you talking about? I said, you really want to get slapped. You have no idea what you have put me through the past 2 weeks. We have finally come to a decision, and now you come at me and tell me to quit my job. Really? And he said, yeah, I got the job over there, so yeah, you can go ahead and quit yours. I said, okay, well, I guess I'll put my 2 weeks in. And he said, yeah, they want me yesterday. I said, I don't know what you want me to do, because I can't just quit my job. I'm not that person. I'm professional. I don't burn bridges. I was raised better than that. I don't do that. I have to give them 2 weeks. And he said, well, I don't think they're going to wait for me 2 weeks, but, you know, figure out what you want to do. If you decide you want to do 2 weeks, I'll call them and let them know, hey, this is what's going on. I'm going to have to do 2 weeks. I said, okay. So I went and figured that out. I went back up and talked to my boss and told her, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do right now. I'm in tears in her office, because I'd already been in there earlier in the day to tell her, okay, this is what we figured out. And now I'm coming at her telling her, hey, my husband just met me on the elevator and he told me to quit my job right now. So I'm in tears telling her, you know, I don't want to leave this way. This is not who I am. This is not what I do. And she was basically saying, you know, I know this is not you. There was a little bit of disappointment on her face and in her voice, like, I know this is not you, and it's going to be really shitty if you turn into it now. So I kept telling her, I don't want to leave this way. This is not what I do. I am professional. I work hard. I devote myself and am completely loyal to whoever I work for, and I don't do this. I've never left a job like that. I've done it one time, and even then, I was a big enough person to walk into that office and tell my manager, I am not coming to work tomorrow. I cannot do this. I am way too stressed out. You don't have to worry about my schedule for the next 2 weeks. I've already talked to one of my coworkers, and they're going to take care of it for me. They're working my shifts. That is the only time that I've ever done that, and even then, I took care of it so that there was no worry. And my boss said, you know, this, while I was in my boss's office telling her, you know, I don't want to do this. I don't want to leave like this. She says, you know, I think you need to go talk to him. So I said, okay. So I went to lunch and I called him, because he had already left the building by then. And I called him and said, okay, I'm going to put in my 2 weeks. And he said, they're not going to wait 2 weeks. I just talked to them. I start tomorrow or not at all. So I said, okay. Well, I guess we have no choice. We need to figure out some childcare for this week, because I'm not quitting my job right this second. If at all possible, I'd prefer to at least finish out my week. So my mother-in-law agreed to take Axel for the rest of the week, and I finished out my week at work. Then came to find out that I'm going to be losing some benefits that I thought I was going to get. Oh well. So yeah. I don't want to get into that because I don't want anybody saying, oh, you can sue them for that, blah, blah, blah. I'm done with it. I mean, I'm not even worried about it anymore. I'm done with that situation. I'm past it. So I'd gone back up to the office and I told her, okay, this is the situation. They want him yesterday or not at all. They're not going to wait for him 2 weeks. So I'm very sorry. I had already typed out my my notice. I told her I'm going to finish out this week. I'm very sorry for leaving it this way, but this is what we've decided is going to be best for our family. So she said, I understand. I'm really sorry to see you leave this way too, but it's better than what some people have done recently. We've had a lot of people just, not a lot of people, but we've lost quite a few people at work recently, and some of them have been terminated and some of them just decided not to show up anymore. Didn't give any notice. They just said whatever, no call, no show. So she said, you know, at least you're better than that. You're giving me notice, so it's okay. So yeah, so that all worked out. Sunday was my last day at work. I am now officially a stay-at-home mom. I am past all the drama. I am okay with it now. I am good. Not to say that being a stay-at-home mom is something that I don't want to do, because it is. I love my son with all of my heart, and I want nothing more than what is the best for him. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. I thought I was okay, and I guess I'm not. So stupid. Yeah, I want nothing more than what is the best for my son. I had said in my head so many times while I was trying to get through and make these decisions, because I didn't want anybody else raising my kid for me. You know, if it's not me or my husband, it's not good enough. And what I kept saying to myself was, I would rather be the one to fail him, having tried to do the right thing, than be the one that failed him because I didn't try at all. So I would much rather be the one taking care of him every day and teaching him the things that he needs to learn. I want that to be me. So that is not at all what I've been scared about. I have been scared about the financial situation. It is human nature to be afraid of change. That's just who we are. That's human nature. And this is a really scary transition for me. Like I said, I have taken care of myself, made my own money, paid my own bills since I was about 14 years old. I have always been able to, you know, rely on myself all the time. So for me to now be completely dependent upon somebody else for finances is a completely foreign situation to me. And I know that, you know, about 30, 40 years ago, that was just the normal thing to do. The wife stayed home and took care of the kids, and the husband was the breadwinner. And I am right on board with that. But times are hard for everybody right now, and it really makes me nervous. This is day 2 of stay-at-home mom, my new life. Today was really, really good. Yesterday got off to a really rough start. Yesterday, my rite of passage Sunday night when I got home from work was to delete my alarms on my phone. That I'm not going to have to wake up to an alarm ever again. I'm so stoked about that. Like, finding little things has been like what is getting me through right now. So I disabled all of my alarms on my phone to wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6:30 in the morning. And I woke up 6:30 anyway, because I guess I'm just conditioned to do that now. So I woke up at 6:30 and I said, I'm going to go ahead and go to the gym. I went to the gym. I came home, got the kid out of bed, got him situated. He was not a happy camper yesterday. I don't really know why. Sometimes he just has bad days, I guess. So yeah, he was pretty whiny and fussy all day yesterday. But my husband got up and we decided we needed to go grocery shopping. Surprise, surprise, that bill was on me because he has not gotten paid yet. So I said, okay, that's fine. I checked my bank account. I'm good. I've got plenty of money to get me through until my paycheck on my last paycheck on Saturday. Woo! So we got to Walmart. We were doing our grocery shopping. It's okay, we're doing good. We're doing fine. My husband is usually really good at keeping a tally of where we are, and he said, yeah, I totally spaced. I'm not even keeping track right now. Oh, that's great. It's fantastic. I said, well, I got to go get something on the other aisle down here. So I went to go get something on another aisle, and I said, you know what? I don't know why the thought popped in my head, but I said, I got to check my bank account right now to make absolutely sure that I'm going to have enough money to pay the rest of my bills this month and do this grocery shopping that we have already pretty much finished. So I went and checked my phone, and like I had a mini freak out. Like I'm standing in the chip aisle at Walmart and just crying, looking at my phone, looking at my bank account, which is totally fine. It's not like we're going to be destitute if I buy these groceries. We're going to be fine. But I had a mini freak out about it. So, excuse me, I'm almost out of water. So I had this little mini freak out, and I got past it pretty quick. We paid for the groceries. It was more than I expected we were going to do, but I paid it. We're fine. It's not a big deal. It's just money. You can't take it with you. So yeah, things like that. Things like, little stupid sayings like that. I have to keep reminding myself of. It's not like it's going to be the end of the world if, things get a little bit tighter for us around here. It's fine. I'm thrifty. My husband is very fortunate in the fact that I am very thrifty. I've already got like 1,000 ideas in my head how to make a little bit extra cash. So it's not a problem. We're going to get through it. We're going to figure it out. But we bought the groceries. We got the car, and I had another little mini freak out. And he's like, I don't understand why you're freaking out. But if we do this for a month or two and you decide you can't do it, you can get something part-time. It's not going to be a big deal. So there are ways for us to get through it. I know there is. He knows there is. We are doing this together. That is the most important thing. I am really embarrassed that I am crying this much over this situation in front of you guys, because it's so stupid. Yeah, it's a transition for me. It's not something that is really comfortable for me to do. I've done this one other time in my life, and that's when I had my son. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but when I got pregnant with my son, I had just started a new job. I actually found out I was pregnant the week that I started that job, and in order to get FMLA, which is what would be considered my maternity leave, you had to be there for at least a year. Well, I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was nearly in my second trimester. So, yes, that does happen. I really didn't know I was pregnant until I was, like 3 weeks out from my second trimester. So, yeah, I wasn't going to get my FMLA, so when it came time for me to leave that job, they forced me to quit. They forced me to put in my resignation. So I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have made them fire me. Then I would have gotten unemployment. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. I do things the way I'm supposed to. That's just who I am. But I had saved up enough money in that time, while I had that job, that I was going to be okay, because I already knew I was going to be unemployed for a little while. I had no idea how long. I was unemployed for 3 months after that, and I had saved up enough money that I was okay being unemployed for 3 months. It just so happened I had saved up just enough money to be okay for that amount of time. And it's not like I even, got to the end of that money and decided, came to the realization, holy crap, I gotta get a job. I had gotten okay. I could go back to work. You know, my schedule and my husband's schedule were going to work out okay, so that somebody was always going to be home with a baby. So it wasn't going to be a problem. It just so happened I got a job right as that money was running out. It's just the way it worked. That man up there has got me, and I know he does. Yeah. So that's the other reason that I'm embarrassed that I am so freaked out about this, because I've never had a situation that I couldn't get out of. I've never been in that kind of situation. I've always been able to get out. There has always been a way for it to work out the way that, you know, in the best possible way that it could. So there's no reason for me to freak out. I'm good. I'm good with the big man. So he looks out for me and we're good. So yeah, you know, it just so happened that I ran out of money just as I got that job, and I've been in that job for 2 years. About 2.5 actually at this point. So yeah, now it's been decided that I am gonna stay home. It's been pretty good. That first day, like I said, started out kind of rocky, but it ended up being okay in the end. I took care of my family all day and I felt so good about it. When I went to bed last night, I felt so good about myself because I had taken care of my family. I had been the woman that I have always wanted to be. And I was so proud of myself last night. You guys have no idea. I made lunch. I made dinner. I cleaned the house. I took care of my family yesterday the way that I've always seen on television you're supposed to. So, and I was really proud of myself, and I felt really good and very successful. Today is no different. I didn't really do a whole lot of cooking today, but I did do all the laundry. Little man was a little bit more accepting to his new schedule. Not a whole lot of freakouts from him today. About the normal amount when he's with me. That's going to be the biggest transition for both of us, is that he's so used to being with Daddy all day, and he's not going to be with Daddy all day anymore. And he pushes my buttons because he knows he can. So it's going to be an adjustment for the both of us to get that all ironed out. But yeah, so far it's good. We're 2 days in, and so far it's good. I'm okay with it. You know, for the most part, the nervousness and the apprehension has gone away. If I had to gauge it, I'd say it's probably about 15%. So I'm basically okay. This is the only time that I have kind of freaked out a little bit is filming this video, and that really wasn't even a freak out. That was just me being in my emotions. So yeah, so I'm a stay-at-home mom now, so look forward to mom vlogs, since this is the first official mom vlog that I am doing. Yeah, so there's that story. There is my big news. I am now a stay-at-home mom and a housewife, even though I don't think that is the correct term that we use anymore. I don't care, I'm a housewife. I don't care, whatever. So yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I take care of my family now. That's my job. I don't get a paycheck, but I do get paid. It's so cliche and so stupid, but I get paid in sweet baby kisses and cuddles and love from my husband. And I think it's a pretty sweet gig. So, I understand if you don't believe me. If I was watching this, I probably wouldn't either. Like I said, it's just, this is a very emotional transition for me to make. And I don't know why. It makes absolutely no sense for me to be so emotional about this, but I am. like I said, I'm just a little bit apprehensive. But it'll work out. It'll work out the way it's supposed to. And until then, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy the time that I get with my son. I'm going to enjoy finding this person in me. Yeah. I really wish I hadn't cried so much in this video. But I'm also very glad that I wasn't wearing makeup to begin with, because it would be all over my face now. So yeah. So that's what I have for you there. Congrats to me. Oh, actually one of my coworkers gave me this little pendant the other day. That was, sorry, I don't want you to look at my nails. That was her little going away present to me. It's a mommy and a baby. Yeah. I don't have the box right here next to me. It had some nice emotional words in the box, but I have the box next to me. Actually, I think I've already thrown it away. But I got that as a going away present. Another one of my coworkers sent me home with some brownies and a bottle of apple crown, because apparently, since I'm a stay-at-home mom, I need to start drinking. That's what stay-at-home moms do, right? They spend all day taking care of the kids, and then they drink wine at night. Isn't that right? Isn't that the thing? When the kids go to bed, it's wine 30. Isn't that what I see on the internet? Anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry that I get to the end of my videos and I'm like, I just start rambling and I have really nothing to talk about. But yeah, so since I'm going to have so much free time, I'm going to try desperately to grow this channel and make it more successful and get more followers. So I'm going to try so very desperately to film at least one video a week. I would rather do 2 or 3 a week, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Dollar Tree hauls in general may be few and far between, you know, with the whole financial situation. We gotta wait a couple of paychecks before we can figure out whether or not mommy gets any spending money. Yay! So until then, it's gonna be mom vlogs and makeup tutorials and declutters and maybe some Pinterest testing and that sort of stuff. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see that. I'm really interested in doing Pinterest testing. If you don't know what that is, that's testing out Pinterest stuff. I've tried out a bunch of recipes, and I'm sure that would be a good thing to share with you guys. Some of my favorite Pinterest recipes. I think I'll share that with you guys. So yeah, let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I really do want to do more of the makeup side of things, but I've told you guys before, I'm not a makeup artist, so it's really just a normal person putting on their normal everyday makeup. So I'm sorry this video ran so long. I kind of figured it would since I was storytelling. Let me guys know. You guys let me know if you want to see more videos like this, more storytime videos. I'm definitely going to be doing more vlogs. So I guess that is still kind of story time. But yeah. So yeah, if you haven't already and you would like to see some more of my videos or see how any of these series unfold that I have been trying to film, go ahead and hit that big beautiful red subscribe button down below. Subscribe to my channel. And yeah, show me some love. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of my channel. I would love that. Things to improve, things to get rid of, things to shout from the rooftop. I don't know. Show me some love, subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you guys on the flippity flop. Bye!